Okay, I got it. So it's literally 3:31 a.m. and I'm at work because yeah, welcome to the entertainment industry. Speaking of like people that have no life and just work, fuck you, Mappa, for the way you treat your employees, the ones that are actually making you money. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. So I've been wanting to do this video for like 3 days now, and I just haven't had the time. So right now, I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's anger some people. I feel like I haven't done my due diligence to make you um, seemingly pissed off, make you irrationally angry at me for some reason. So here I am, uh, and I'm going to give right now two, and if I can think of a third one, I'll give you a three. But so far, two of my biggest anime hot takes. Now, these anime hot takes are going to be explained. I'll tell you about them. I tell you why I feel like they are what they are and why I believe in them and why I will defend them. Now, you can tell me, Ivan, you're wrong. You literal piece of shit. How dare you have an opinion of your own? The fuck out of you. And to that, I will say, you are in your right to call me whatever you want and to disagree with me as much as you want. I'm giving you my opinion. And if you don't like great. I hope that you have good arguments to defend yours. That's it. So, why do I feel so cranky right now? Well, it's because it's fucking 3 a.m. and I'm still at work. So that's why. Anyways, so let's talk about the first one. And it's not one that I haven't talked about, that I've never talked about ever. I've mentioned this often, um, but I decided to start with this one, and that is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I do not like the word mid. I try my very best to never use the word mid. Even though English is not my first language, I try to avoid that like the fucking plague because I think it diminishes every single piece of argument that you might have again like on something. Just calling it mid, it just kind of devalues your own perspective because it means that you can't really elaborate more than just one specific monosyllabic word. So, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is not mediocre by any means of the word, but I would never give it a 10 out of 10. I've heard a lot of people call Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood one of the greatest animes of all time. Like it is just up there. You cannot uh, take the crown away from its head because it's just like the best anime ever created. Some of the arguments that I hear about it is because it has such a complete world, everything has a resolution, everything makes sense, the power level, the scales are like perfect. Fantastic, and I do agree with that. I 100% agree with that. I think that this series, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, it is a whole package. Like everything gets resolved, every single loose end gets tied up in a nice little bow and boom, send off. Fantastic. I'm not denying that. And I do think that the power level, the power skills are great, are fantastic. But I didn't think this story was like one of the greatest I've ever seen. I do think that it's not necessarily complicated, but the world building is in a way quite quite I don't want to say the word perfect, but very close to. Everything is very well established, but I just don't like it as much. So I would always give it between a 7 and an 8. Like the highest I would put it is at an 8. Like really, that's about it. Why? Well, because on a personal level, I do think that the anime suffers from the time of the period where when it was released, where a lot of anime had to be very over exaggerated to achieve the tropiness, where like in the MCU a lot of people do besmirch the MCU for not giving enough time to marinate on sadness or heavy emotions or heavy moments. And they immediately go to a joke. And I feel like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is like that. That it has a lot of like good setup moments, and I just want to marinate in them. I just want to embrace the feeling, but immediately joke and a lot of over exaggerated animation. So every time I would see that a character is changing its animation into like a super simplistic caricature, I would be like, oh, yeah, nothing bad is gonna happen anymore, or like everything's gonna be sold because clearly we are entering a joke setup or a joke something. So I really, really hated that. Like it brought down the series a lot to me. Um, I do not like Edward as a protagonist or as much as a lot of people look him up to be like, oh my god, he's like such an MC, he's the goat, and okay, I get it, I guess, but I just feel like he's a very common shonen protagonist. I think out of every single character, he's not necessarily one of the deepest one. So the fact that I never rooted for him in the show, I rooted for a lot of other people actually, but I never really like connected with him. Again, that's my opinion, that's my take. And if you're angry, let me know in the comments. Dislike the video a lot, like do it 3 times. Actually leave 20 comments saying how much of a stupid ignorant I am. Now, second, second hot take. I have been watching One Piece because the Netflix adaptation made me want to watch One Piece. And that is, I think, one of the best examples of how a live action should be done. Because it makes you want to watch the source material because you don't want to wait for the next season of the thing to come out. Because it's going to be years or whatever the time is. So you already have the content available being in the manga or in the anime. And the reason why I never watched One Piece is because it's so goddamn intimidating and such a time consuming anime. Like you have more than 1,000 episodes, and the community makes it feel that if you don't watch like every single episode, you're not going to get the payoff when the payoff happens. So it's like you either watch it all and just endure the storm or not watch it at all, you know? But if you don't watch it, then you don't have an opinion in it. And yeah, I agree. If you don't watch something, you definitely don't have an opinion on that something. So, with that said, I watched the live action adaptation on Netflix, and then I watched some of the anime. Obviously, I have not finished the anime, not by any means, but at least I have a good enough viewing to cover quite a bit of what the Netflix adaptation does cover. So, I dropped One Piece out of boredom, honestly. Like, I know, I guess it gets better, but I have to treat this as a anime that I would just like pick up on my own, because there are a lot of anime that I started watching that I just dropped because it didn't grab me enough, and One Piece is one of them. It has a lot of pacing issues. uh I don't really connect with Luffy the way I connect with live action Luffy. um I feel like every character has a little is too over exaggerated, and I feel like the emotional payoffs of the anime are, in a way, a little bit, they're better done than the live action adaptation, but you have to endure way more. It's like you either wait 3 hours for a very good meal made by Gordon Ramsay, or you wait 10 minutes for a very decent, almost great meal by Bobby Flay, you know? So one of the, like, in my experience, in my life, like, I am, it's 3:40 a.m. right now, and I'm still at work, so I don't have a whole lot of time to like invest into something that is just slightly to a little bit more um, than what I'm already getting for a shorter, like way shorter amount of time. We're talking about of 8 episodes, the live action adaptation in Netflix, against 50 something of the anime. To be honest with you, I like the characters, every single one. I like them better in the live action adaptation of Netflix. I think the live action is superior to the anime in almost every way. The biggest for me, the characters. I know Oda was heavily involved, and I wonder if he had anything to say to change a couple of things of the characters. But Luffy live action, for me, swipes off the floor anime Luffy. I think anime Luffy is way more stubborn, pushy, a little bit more piratey. Like, I get he's a pirate, but like he's a little bit more. Um, he's rougher around the edges, and Netflix adaptation Luffy is like way more naive, way more optimistic in a lot of aspects, and more tender. So I prefer that. Again, it's just my personal opinion. That's it. So I would say that the live action adaptation from Netflix of One Piece is in almost every way superior to the anime, at least of what it covers so far. I would take the One Piece adaptation any day. So those are my two biggest hot takes on anime so far. I cannot for the life of me think of another one. I mean, yeah. I mean, we can talk about maybe the fact that I think Attack on Titan is the best anime ever created, and the ending is beyond perfect. But I've already done quite a bit of videos about it, and I will do more. Just FYI, I will do more. Um, so yeah. Oh yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen hasn't grabbed me yet. That's the problem with it. I would say that's my third hot take. That so far the best thing that I've seen of Jujutsu Kaisen, it's the movie, and I've completely forgot about um It, Itadori. Is that his name? I think. Then the other guy with the Sasuke hair, Gojo. I never found him like interesting, to be honest with you. So I don't understand the hype for Jujutsu Kaisen. I will finish watching the second season, and hopefully, like, I just want it to be done so I can binge it, because week by week I'm just like, I'm done. I don't care about this. So, but hopefully I'll come around and it'll grab me. But so far I couldn't care less. But I will watch it regardless. I will. Anyways, that's it. Those are my three anime hot takes of right now, of this very moment. If you made it through this video, which clearly has no editing, no script whatsoever, I just like press record and shut the shit. Type in the comments Captain Underpants. That's it. Just type that so I know that you made it to this point. All right. Bye.